I need lines and fixtures. I need logical pictures. I need to break my mirror, 'cause it's breaking me. Oh, I probably wish away, wish away, wish away, wish away these empty days. I feel like a waste of space, waste of space, waste of space. Am I a waste of space? Drawing fine lines, joining up the dots in my mind. Can't leave my paranoia.
So here we are. We get to Nassau. We miss the plane. There's no JetBlue people around. There's nobody to contact or see, you know, in person. So I get on the JetBlue site, and all the lines are busy, of course. So I, contact somebody. We go through, we finally got that straightened out. So we got a new flight on Sunday. Great, okay. So now we're sitting in the airport. There's another really large family. They're in the same situation with a different airline, and they've got to find a place to stay. So now they're gone. They found a place, and we're sitting there. And it's like, okay, so how do we get out of here? There's no taxi cabs. And this lady walks up to us and says, are you guys getting a flight? What are you doing? And we said, well, we're trying to get to Orange Hill. Explained the situation to her. And she said, oh, okay, great, I can take you over there. So we end up, Sid had called Orange Hill and made sort of a reservation. And we'd been there, I know the people and everything. So we went there, and they were like, how long are you staying for? And we said, well, I think it's going to be 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night. Oh, you're going to be here on Sunday? And I said, well, flight's not till like 3:40. Oh, well, we weren't taking any reservations for Sunday because of the hurricane. But that's okay. So we get there, we're like exhausted. We said, anyway, you got any food? And they said, okay, it's 8:27. Yes, we serve food till 8:30. Pretty amazing, right? So my head is just like, feels like somebody took a, bicycle pump and went. And so we end up having a dinner and going to bed. And, all the while I'm looking, because right then and there's nothing actually happening in the weather. You'll see as it's coming up in the rest of this video that Saturday was like, there was barely a breeze. It looked no problem at all. We're watching the hurricane as it comes closer to, the other side of coming up on the Abacos, and saying, okay, this is going to be interesting, and I'm also checking the JetBlue app all the time, so popping up on time, and I'm like, oh, please just stay on time. And then we're waiting in the airport. We finally, get done Saturday. The weather starts to turn bad. It gets windy. And here we are. It's Saturday. It's like 11:30. So we go to check out. And the lady says, oh, do you need a cab? And I said, yeah, we need a cab. So she calls this one. No answer. Calls this one. No answer. Calls this one. No answer. And we had the number from the lady that brought us. So we called her. All available lines are busy. So the whole BTC communication network was clogged up. No phone calls were being able to be made because all the lines and however it all works were all being used. There was nothing you could do. So we waited, and finally one of the owners came and gave us a ride to the airport. So we get to the airport, we go through all the checks, through stuff, that's just normal, blah, blah, blah. And we get there, and meanwhile, I'm seeing planes coming, seeing planes going, but every once in a while, there'd be one flight, blah, 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 has been canceled. So I'm still on the phone, like, every 10 seconds, looking to see that the flight is still on time, hasn't been delayed, hasn't been canceled, all of that kind of stuff. And it was a little bit late, but it did arrive. And, it was just one of those, you couldn't have planned for any of this stuff. It was just so totally bizarre. And there's still a little bit more fun to come. So, and the next one, we had the fun trip back. But, it was one of those things, you couldn't have anticipated the plane being, 2 hours late out of Governor's. You couldn't have anticipated that the storm was going to turn into a major hurricane that close, and the timing was going to be what it was. And if you've been watching the news, which you probably have if you have any interest in the islands, the poor people in Abaco and Grand Bahama, it's going to be years. So, for our sakes, we're grateful we got what we needed to do. The house is still fine. There's still problems going on in Eleuthera, power on, power off, the waves are still bad. But, it's really nothing, and you have to look at it that way. Yeah, these are pain in the neck inconveniences. The power goes on, goes off. But, when your whole house is gone, or worse, some family member's dead or washed out to sea or something like that, you really got to be grateful, because this storm was massive. And from what I've seen over in the Abacos and other places, there's places that don't even exist anymore. So we are extremely grateful. We were able to do everything we needed to do and then get out of there. We got done what we needed to, but I'm not sure everybody else did. We'll talk about that later.
It was easier when I was indeed fine by fine lines. I need new equations to solve my complications. I need a break from my face, oh, 'cause it's breaking me up.
Okay, today is Saturday, and I've got a really good head cold. I'm going to tell you all about this fun adventure, which you won't really believe. Probably not today. But you'll probably think I'm making it all up. But Hurricane Dorian is, well, way far that way. And as you can see, there's barely a puff of wind here today. We're supposed to fly out on Sunday afternoon, so I'm kind of hoping it stays similar to this. But like I say, this will be a story you probably won't believe.
Kind of funny how they cut off that long stem, right?
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Well, there's lots of avocados up there. Yeah. Huh.
Breaking me heart. I'll probably wish away, wish away, wish away, wish away these empty days. I feel like a waste of space, waste of space, waste of space. Am I a waste of space? Drawing fine lines, joining up the dots in my mind. Can't leave my paranoia behind. It was easier when I was indeed fine by fine lines. Fine lines were mine. I'll probably wish away, wish away, wish away. wish away. Fine lines, joining up the dots in my mind. Can't leave my paranoia behind. Was easier when I wasn't defined by fine lines. Wish away, wish away, wish away, wish away. Fine lines, joining up the dots in my
Available your passport along with your boarding pass. Groups 1 through 6, you're welcome to board. Doorway B30.
Can't leave my paranoia behind. Was easier when I wasn't defined by fine lines.
The aircraft is currently circling, waiting for clearance to land. Once this takes place, a boarding announcement will commence shortly thereafter. American Airlines apologizes once again for this delay and any inconvenience this may have.